Over 95% of seniors consume the wrong nuts, which can, often without them realizing it, weaken their legs, cause joint inflammation, and decrease their strength over time. Many people think they're making a healthy choice by snacking on certain nuts or almonds, but some actually accelerate muscle loss, disrupt balance, and promote fatigue. Worse still, these nuts are usually the most readily available in our cupboards. If you notice your legs feeling heavier, your steps less sure, or your balance deteriorating, the diet could be to blame. In this video, we'll reveal the 4 nuts to absolutely avoid, as well as the 4 to favor to strengthen your muscles, protect your joints, and improve your balance, ranked from least to most effective. Stay tuned until the end, because the last item on this list could be the key to regaining stronger legs and reducing the risk of falls. Without further ado, let's start with the 4 nuts to include in your diet after 65, the ones that really help maintain your strength and mobility. First, nut number 4, the pistachio. If you're over 65 and your legs feel heavier, your feet remain cold, or your hands feel tingly or numb, it could be a sign of poor circulation. And this problem doesn't resolve itself. Pistachios can play a key role. These little seeds possess a rare power. They improve blood circulation. And this benefit isn't limited to the heart. It's also crucial for the health of the legs, feet, and even the brain. With age, blood vessels narrow and blood circulates less efficiently, leading to cold extremities, tired legs, dizziness, swelling, and sometimes memory problems. Pistachios help dilate blood vessels and bring more oxygen to muscles and organs. The result: less heaviness, less pain, more energy, and better stability in your movements. They also help regulate blood sugar, limiting post-meal fatigue and ensuring more consistent energy. However, it's important not to consume salted or flavored pistachios found in shiny bags at the supermarket, as they negate many of the benefits. Choose plain, raw, or dry-roasted pistachios without added salt, oil, or sugar. A small handful between meals is enough. Within a few days, you may already feel warmer hands and feet, less heaviness in your legs, and improved endurance. Sometimes, it's not a cocktail of medications that makes the difference, but simply the right food at the right time. For your circulation, pistachios represent a first step toward lighter, stronger legs. Next up is nut number 3, almonds. After age 65, if your hands lose strength, your steps become less sure, or you get tired more quickly, even with simple activities like walking or standing, your muscles may be lacking fuel. One of the most effective ways to combat this weakness is to eat almonds. They're not just a pleasant snack, but a true ally for your muscles. With age, muscle loss often accelerates without us realizing it. This is why we feel less stable, less resilient, and certain activities suddenly seem more difficult. Almonds provide exactly what your body needs to slow this process: proteins, minerals, and nutrients essential for the repair and maintenance of muscle tissue. They also support joints and promote the proper transmission of nerve signals, which helps maintain a sure and confident stride. Their main benefit lies in their rich magnesium content. Cramps, twitching eyelids, or stiff legs at night can signal a deficiency. Magnesium relaxes muscles, regulates heart rate, and helps the body relax after stress or fatigue. However, avoid almonds coated in sugar, roasted in oil, or overly salted. Opt for whole almonds, raw or dry roasted, with nothing added. A handful a day is enough. You can add them to your breakfast or slip a few into your bag for the day. Gradually, you'll feel less trembling, more flexible, and stronger. At this stage of life, your body no longer needs empty calories. It needs useful energy, and almonds provide exactly that fuel. Then comes nut number 2, peanuts. Peanuts are often misunderstood and misused. Yet, when consumed in their most natural form, they can help restore strength after age 65. We're not talking about industrial peanut butter, honey-roasted peanuts, or peanuts coated in sugar and salt. We're talking about whole peanuts, raw or dry roasted, without added salt or flavorings, with all their nutritional power intact. Why are they important? Because with age, your muscles silently diminish. Your legs seem less firm, your hands less strong, and you get winded more easily. It's not just age, but also a lack of essential nutrients to rebuild and maintain muscle. Peanuts provide usable protein, fats that are beneficial for the brain, and essential minerals for muscles. After age 65, recovery slows down. What used to require a night's rest now requires several days. Peanuts replenish your reserves, stabilize blood sugar, and prevent energy dips while limiting cramps and muscle tension. The magnesium they contain helps relax muscles and regulates heart rate. But this only works if you avoid processed versions saturated with salt, sugar, and oil. A handful of plain or dry-roasted peanuts a day is enough to notice the difference. Greater stability, more strength, and better regulated energy. Every food counts after age 65. Peanuts, eaten correctly, are among the simplest and most effective options for supporting muscles and balance. Finally, the number one nut, the Brazil nut. Probably the most misunderstood, but after age 65, it might be the most powerful. A single Brazil nut can have more impact on your energy, strength, and recovery than most so-called health foods. It is exceptionally rich in essential minerals often deficient with age, including selenium, a true keystone. Selenium helps repair damaged tissue, protects muscles from wasting, and supports neurotransmission. The result: more responsive legs, steady hands, and consistent energy. If you wake up tired, feel sore, or have trouble recovering after simple exercise, it's probably a deficiency of this mineral. Brazil nuts deeply nourish muscles, slow muscle loss, improve balance, and limit nervous fatigue. 1 or 2 nuts a day is enough. Anything more than that would be too much. In the right dosage, this small portion becomes a true targeted fuel, silently repairing what age has weakened. The difference is quickly felt: stronger legs, more energetic mornings, faster recovery. Now that you know which nuts boost strength and mobility after 65, let's move on to those that can, on the contrary, weaken your body without you noticing. Let's start with nut number 4, cashews. Cashews seem harmless, tasty, and even healthy. However, after 65, continuing to snack on roasted and salted cashews can become problematic. These nuts are not beneficial to your body and can silently damage it. When roasted in cheap oils and coated with salt, they go from a harmless snack to a real health hazard. These processed versions silently cause inflammation of the blood vessels, put unnecessary strain on the heart, and overload the kidneys with sodium. That grip you think is energetic actually increases blood pressure, reduces joint flexibility, and triggers a series of reactions that make you feel heavier, bloated, and less stable on your legs. The oils used are among the worst. Industrial seed oils that increase joint pain and stiffness. Your arteries constrict, your memory becomes foggy, and if you're already out of breath after a few walks or moderate exercise, these nuts make things worse. Your body no longer processes these oils the way it did when you were 30. They slow recovery, disrupt circulation, and increase stiffness and fatigue. The problem goes much deeper than pain or blood pressure. In your muscles, nerves, and digestive system, cashews roasted in industrial oils promote hidden inflammation, invisible on a daily basis, but which gradually sets in. When your ankles swell, your mind fogs in the afternoon, or your energy plummets mid-morning, the problem is already there. The solution, if you enjoy cashews? Opt for raw, unsalted versions in small portions and avoid flavored bags or those coated in salt, oil, and additives. Cashews aren't the most serious danger on this list, but they slowly and insidiously weaken you. Next comes nut number 3, pecans. Pecans sound sweet, comforting, and often evoke homemade desserts. However, after age 65, especially when caramelized, flavored, or glazed, they can contribute to a weakened body. Naturally high in fat, they aren't a problem when eaten in moderation and plain. But past a certain age, digestion slows, metabolism decreases, and tolerance for fatty foods decreases. Adding sugar, artificial flavors, or processed oils turns these nuts into a nutritional trap. The handful you think is beneficial actually causes bloating, inflammation, and slowed circulation. You feel it when your legs feel heavy after sitting, when your stomach tightens after a meal, or when your energy ebbs midday. Even raw, eaten in excess, pecans can become problematic. Too often, they weigh down the body rather than nourish it. You feel fuller but not stronger. Your movements slow down, your joints stiffen, your ankles swell, and your digestion becomes more fragile. The sweetened versions sold in bags for parties or as quick snacks pose an additional danger. The oils go rancid quickly, and the sugar destabilizes blood sugar, turning these nuts into candy in disguise. The solution? If you love pecans, keep them raw, plain, and in small quantities, only occasionally. But if your goal is to maintain strength, balance, and energy, there are much better alternatives. And then nut number 2, macadamia nuts. Macadamia nuts feel luxurious, with their rich taste and creamy texture. But after 65, your body doesn't need this type of dense fat. It needs light, efficient fuel. Macadamias are extremely high in fat, and not in the ideal proportions for an aging body. The result? Slow digestion, sluggish circulation, and internally stifled energy. What you think is a good fat turns into a factor in inflammation, bloating, and persistent weight gain. You feel in your stomach, in your joints, and even in your legs, which feel heavier than usual. Movement becomes slower, recovery takes longer, stiffness sets in, and strength diminishes. The catch is that macadamias don't cause immediate discomfort. The effects are gradual until the day comes when joint pain, low energy, and a less fluid gait appear while the pounds pile on. They're also easy to overeat. A few handfuls and you've swallowed several hundred calories, mostly in the form of fat. With a slowed metabolism, these fats accumulate, increasing pressure on your joints, fueling inflammation, and worsening fatigue. If you're already struggling with excess weight, low energy, or heavy legs, it's time to eliminate macadamias from your diet. They don't help. They make every step harder. It's better to turn to lighter nuts, which stimulate circulation, support mobility, and build muscle strength. Even small macadamias can cause serious discomfort. Finally, the number 1 dangerous nut, walnuts. Nuts have long been touted as a superfood for the heart and brain, but after age 65, the reality is more nuanced, sometimes worrying. As we age, our metabolism slows, our detoxification system weakens, and our body reacts more strongly to inflammation. Nuts, rich in fat, can then become enemies rather than allies. These fats, even so-called healthy ones, accumulate quickly, causing joint stiffness, slow digestion, bloating, and low energy well before the end of the morning. The problem doesn't stop there. The oils in nuts go rancid quickly, sometimes without any change in smell or appearance. That slightly bitter taste often indicates that the fats have oxidized. These oxidized fats don't nourish the body. They silently inflame it. The result? Stiffer knees, swollen ankles, a foggy mind, persistent fatigue, and less restful sleep. Many attribute these symptoms to age, when the real culprit could be the bag of nuts we consider healthy. Another concern: nuts are rich in omega-6. If you don't compensate with enough omega-3s, this excess fuels inflammation, hardens the arteries, slows muscle recovery, and strains the heart. If you already suffer from joint pain, bloating after meals, sudden bouts of fatigue, or circulatory problems, reducing or eliminating nuts can provide quick relief. The most dangerous part? Their healthy image encourages their daily consumption, often in appetizer mixes, wellness salads, or packaged snacks. In seniors, they can accelerate inflammation, slow circulation, and diminish vitality. The solution? Replace them with nuts, which calm inflammation, stimulate circulation, and strengthen muscle strength. There you have it, the 4 nuts to avoid after age 65, and those to favor to regain strength, stability, and energy every day. After this age, every food choice counts. Some foods maintain inflammation, weaken circulation, and accelerate muscle decline, while others nourish your muscles, support your heart, and strengthen your natural defenses. Start today by eliminating the nuts that slow you down and introducing those that boost your momentum. The changes can be rapid. Less stiffness, more balance, more vitality.